Hey everyone, Patrick Laverne from consultingbootcamp.co signing in. I hope you guys are having a great day. I'm having a great morning. Um, if you see like these little lines, just know that I'm shooting these videos really early in the morning. And it's kind of funny because my neighbors, they just see like this huge bright light and everyone's sleeping right now. And I'm super excited to say that, this is important. Let's do it. This video is going to be really cool because we're going to talk about the 5 deadliest mistakes that new coaches and consultants make with their business. And this comes from all the clients that I've had. When someone signs up in my program, very often they make one or more of these mistakes. And when I look at the market, when I look at all you consultants and coaches out there, it's almost always the case that if you're not at least making 10K a month, you're making one of those, if not more than one of those. So I want to talk about those and also just let you know like what you should do instead. So it's not just about talking about the mistake itself, but what you should do instead. Okay, so we're going to dive in. I know your time is precious. My time is precious too. So let's just freaking dive into it. So the first big mistake that coaches make, or consultants, right? For me, it's the same thing, coaches and consultants. They are being generalists. What I mean by that is most people in the market, they basically just, they list their services. They'll say, yeah, for example, a coach will say, I am a high performance coach. I help people with high performance. I help people, get better. And then I'm going to go to them and say, what kind of people are you going after? Oh, it could be, business owners. It could be employees. It could be even athletes. I have a client. She's actually my cousin, but it's my client and she's an athlete. So I help people with high performance. Well, that doesn't work. That is making you a generalist. Same thing with consultants. Consultant would say, yeah, I'm a marketing consultant, or I'm a strategic consultant, as if strategic meant anything at all, right? So being a generalist, when you are below 10K a month, it's a big problem, because if you're below 10K a month, we both know that you don't have a marketing team, right, with yourself. And see, like, you'll see where I'm going with this. You don't have a marketing team. It's probably only you and maybe a VA or two, but that's pretty much it. So you don't have a lot of resources when it comes to positioning yourself out there in the market, right? So let's say that you're looking for your clients, okay, and you set yourself up a little website. Not that you need one, but most people, that's another mistake. Let's say you have a website, or you set yourself up on Facebook or on LinkedIn, and what do you write? Well, you're a generalist. So you're going to write that you're a high performance coach, or you're going to write that you are a strategic marketing coach, strategic marketing consultant. And you're going to talk about your accomplishments, right? And that's going to be it. The thing is, you can't be more specific than that. That's all you can give, because you are a generalist, right? And there's a problem there, because when you list yourself as that, everyone else in the market is doing exactly the same thing. Like, do you know how many high performance coaches there are on LinkedIn right now? You should type in high performance coach in title on LinkedIn, like do a search. You're going to find like a bunch of them. So how are you going to find your clients? It's nearly impossible, right? You're playing the same game everyone else is playing, right? And the vast majority of people out there, they're not making any money. So that's another problem. If you try to copy what others are doing, like, that's a big mistake. That's like a bonus mistake. So what you want to do instead is really zoom in, like really become a specialist. And what I mean by that is, it's almost like you got to close your eyes and envision one person. So if you're a high performance coach, who's your ideal client? Okay. So maybe you'll say, okay, I'm a high performance coach, and my clients are, startup founders, right? But they're in their 20s, and they just raised like a lot of money, right, for their business. So like they're really good. They raised like a few millions of dollars, but now they're freaking out a little bit. They don't have the high performance routine and habits, and so I'm helping these people like get their shit together, because now the stakes have gotten much higher because they raise a bunch of money, right? And when you specialize like this, then you can go on your website and you can really tailor your message, right? You go on your LinkedIn profile, you can really tailor who you're talking to on your LinkedIn profile. It's all about that person. And when that happens, two things will happen. First, You're not like all the other ones anymore, right? And if you're afraid of pigeonholing yourself and do like just working, and you're like, well, maybe the market's going to be too small. No, like if, in my example, there's probably tens of thousands of people that fit that, right? And how many clients do you need in a year? Let's say you charge, I don't know, $5,000 for your services, and let's say you want to make 10K a month. That means you need 20 clients a year. So don't be afraid to narrow down and find those 20 clients out of, I don't know, these 40,000 potential clients, right? You don't need to have a market that is millions deep, because you only need 20, 30, or 40 clients a year to start. Eventually you're going to branch off, but to start, you need to have a really focused message, so that when these people, these specific people, land on your website or go on your LinkedIn profile, they're going to be like, damn, like she or he's just for me. Like, wow, she specializes in what I do. And when you specialize with one person, the words you're going to be using, the way that you're going to be like talking to these people across all your platforms will be very attracting to them, because you're not a generalist. Now you can suddenly you can be really narrow with your messaging, and this is what is going to attract people to you. Or if you want to connect with people on LinkedIn, for example, or on Facebook, you know who you want to connect to, right? So suddenly you're not connecting to an athlete and then connecting to a CEO of a company and then connecting to like a VP who's an employee and then connecting. No, you're always connecting to the same people. And what happens is your message gets better and better, and suddenly you start putting out some content that really matches what they need. So deadly mistake number one, staying a generalist. And trust me, when you say that you're a high performance coach, or when you say that you're a marketing consultant, that is being a generalist. It's you haven't niched down. You need to niche down, right? Choosing a niche, right? A lot of people say that. That's what it means. Mistake number two, big mistake number two that a lot of people are making: wasting time on useless shit. And when I launched my consulting business, I was certainly guilty of that. Oh yeah, like I spent a few months trying to figure out what my business name would be, trying to figure out what my logo would be, uh, building a website, right? All these things, not necessary. I realized it took me like 2 or 3 months to put all of that into place, and I scrapped it like a month after, because I'm like, hey, I built a website and everything, like nothing's happening. Of course, nothing's happening, because it's not a website doesn't make a business. A business card doesn't make a business. A logo and a fancy domain name that ends with a .com doesn't make a business. We don't care about none of that. So personally, when I scrapped all of that and I started working on the right things, I made 100K in the next 10 months. And I didn't have a website anymore. I just scrapped the website. My logo was my name written in our Arial, the font Arial, and the size of the font was 14. And that was it on my website. Like, not the website, sorry, but when I came back to the website, like that's what I had. When I had to place that on my invoices and whatever, that was it. My company name, Pat Laverne Consulting. I went super like, because that's not where the money's at. That's not what people care about. Okay, so wasting your time on building a website or all these things, it's not important. So what is important? Well, if you're a consultant and you're working with companies, for example, what's important is that a few things. First, you need to know who you're going after, right? So that's the first thing that's super important. When you specialize, we just talked about that. Who are you going to be helping? You need to have a knowledge of the people you're going to be working with, how they think, what their problems are, how they speak to their problems, what are their fears, their frustrations, their desires, right? You need to be able to really, so having a clear understanding of your clients, that is important. When you have that, another piece that is important is your offer. You need an offer that will solve the problem that they have. That's important, okay? Then, what do you need? You need a way to connect with them. You don't need a website for that. If you're a consultant and you have to do with something with marketing, right? And not just, don't go with marketing consultant. Like, you've got a you're a marketing consultant, but you're going to be niching down. Well, where are those people? Probably they're on LinkedIn. So you don't need a website anymore. All you need is you need LinkedIn, right? And you have your LinkedIn profile that can become your website. For me, that's what it was. I use my profile, and I have another video you can look how to set up your LinkedIn profile. That became my website. Then, so I had LinkedIn, so I knew who I was going after. I had an offer. I had LinkedIn to connect with them, right? So that was all I needed. Really, all I freaking needed. These three things. These three things together unlock 10K per month for me. That's it. If you are a high performance coach, and let's say you want to coach entrepreneurs, and entrepreneurs, you find that they're more active on Facebook. You need to know exactly who you're going after. You need to really understand them. You need to have an offer, and you need to go be on Facebook, right? Set up your Facebook profile, and you use Facebook and you use LinkedIn to connect with the people. You go towards them, you connect with them, you talk, you engage in conversations with them, and we'll talk about that in a bit. Everything else, not needed. A YouTube channel, not needed. I'm starting to do YouTube myself now that I'm making 30, 35K every month. But to go from 0 to 10K, you don't need it, right? That's it. The third biggest mistake that people make, or deadliest mistake that people make, they come to me like, Pat, things are not working. We have it, like we hop on a call, we have a conversation, and very quickly I realize that they make this mistake. They don't have a game plan. They have no idea. Like they wake up in the morning, they don't know what they should be doing. Well, if you don't have a game plan, nothing's going to happen, right? And they think they have a game plan. They're like, yeah, like I went on Facebook a little bit. I'm thinking of LinkedIn. Yeah, like like I'm a marketing consultant, so like that's good. But I'm like, okay, yeah, but like in your day to day, like what do you do to find clients, and what do you do to over deliver for them? Oh, I don't have any clients yet. Okay, how many sales calls have you had in the last 30 days? Oh, two. Yeah, from referrals. Like referrals are, like I pride myself in referrals. I'm like, okay, cool, but when you start your business, referrals won't get you to where you want to go. Referrals are great, but if your next referral is in 4 months from now, how are you going to eat between today and in 4 months? Forget it. Referrals are great when you've grown your business and you have more and more, like your clients are super happy with you, and they bring more and more people in. But to kind of like get the initial momentum, what's the game plan to get there? You need to be more proactive than reactive. If you have like 2 sales calls a month, that's a big problem. You should get at least 15 to 20 sales calls a month, because here's the math. If you get 20 sales calls a month, you're going to have, let's say, half of them who are not a good fit for your services. They don't fit, and you're going to have to let them go. Now you're left with 10 sales calls. Assume that two of those don't show up. So now you're down to 8 sales calls. These 8 sales calls, people show up on the call and they're a good fit. You're going to make your offer, right? You're going to do the entire call. You're going to say, hey, I can really help you. This is what I offer. Blah, blah, blah. And out of the 8, you're going to assign 2, 3, or 4 clients. And now you're going to that's another big mistake. If you don't charge enough, then you have a problem. If you charge, let's say, like $1,000 for your services, it's going to take forever to get your 10K. But if you do things correctly and you charge at least $3,000, $4,000, $5,000, like big minimum, and you sign 3 clients, then you're going to make between 10 and 15K. So what's the game plan? How do you generate these 20 sales calls? And this is where a lot of you consultants and coaches don't know. Like, oh man, Pat, I don't know how I can generate 20 sales calls. And that's a big problem, right? So that's the third biggest mistake, right? So to come back, the first one is being a generalist instead of a specialist. Mistake number 2 is wasting your time on useless shit. Mistake number 3 is not having a clear game plan that will get you to that 10K. Number 4, not doing enough of the activity. When you start, it's just you've got no marketing money, right? You're not doing paid ads because that's going to cost way too much, and you don't know your clients well enough to do ads anyways. So you should go the organic route. Organic just means you don't leverage paid advertising. You go organically. So it's your energy, your drive, your words, your positioning, your knowledge of your market. This is what you can put forth. And believe me, when you start, when no one knows you, because no one knows you, right? Right now, you're anonymous. You're like total obscurity, like eclipse of the heart. Nothing's happening right now. So how do you break free from that when you don't have marketing money? High level of activity, right? So sometimes people come to me like, Pat, like I'm connecting with people on LinkedIn, and I'm not getting my calls. How many people are you connecting with? Oh, like a lot. What is a lot? Oh man, like over 100. Okay, it was like over how much time? Oh, for last month. Like, holy shit, like I'm connecting with 150 people every day on LinkedIn. So in a month, I'm connecting with over 4,500 people. You're connecting with 100. I'm 45xing you. Of course it's not working. 100 a month is not enough. And we don't know that. So, you know, we got to do what we got to do, especially when you're starting. Is it going to be a bit tedious? Yeah. Is it going to be a bit boring? Yeah. But at the same time, it's going to, if it helps you get to 10K, if it helps you better understand your target clients, right? If it helps put the money in the bank so that eventually you can start doing ads, or eventually you can hire someone to do that part for you, then so be it. But at the beginning, if you don't go to the market and no one knows you, and you've got no paid ads to bring people to you, well, nothing's going to happen. So you got to either become famous so that people can find you. If you're like me, that wasn't an option. Or throw a lot of marketing money. If you're like me, that wasn't an option. So the only thing left was, well, I got to reach out to enough people. And in my younger days, I was doing cold calls, right? Back in the 90s, I was cold calling people. And I remember, like, we had to cold call like 75 to 100 dials. Like, a dial is like whenever you call someone, like from 75 to 100 a day minimum. And I know people like on Wall Street, like they will call, like when they start their career in Wall Street, it's like 200 calls a day they do. But most people, they will reach out to like 100 people a month, which is what, 100, like 3 people a day on LinkedIn, 3, 5, 10 people a day. It's not enough. So big mistake here, not doing enough of the activity. You need to ramp this baby up by a lot. And if it can help you, I'm trying to find the book here. I don't have it, but get the book 10x Rule by Grant Cardone, and he's going to say the same thing. Like, you need to be, you need to 10x your actions. Absolutely. The fifth mistake that people make, consultants, coaches alike, that are not at 10K yet, they let their mindset go to shit. Their mindset is so bad that it interferes with their ability to carry out a winning plan. I could give them like the perfect roadmap, exactly what they have to do. I can tell them like exactly what they need to do, like at every hour of every week, every day, so that they know exactly what they do. And by the way, I do that in my program for my clients. They know exactly what they need to do. Yet, if you don't take care of your mindset, if you have deep fears of inadequacy, if you feel like, or if you have the imposter syndrome, how can you be successful? If deep down you fear that you won't be able to help someone else, how will you go to that someone else, bring them on the phone, and convince them that you are the right person to help them? If you don't believe that yourself, deep in your core, no one else is going to believe in you, right? And that's just one example. Another one would be, if you just, procrastinate for whatever reason, well, nothing's going to happen. If you allow yourself to feel like shit, people will feel it. You won't do enough of the work. And if you do the work, it won't work because you won't attract the right people to you. If you're desperate because you're so like, oh my God, I need the money, and you're super desperate and you're clingy and you're needy, people will feel that. They will run away from you like the plague, right? So you got to clean your mindset. And I just did a video yesterday on this. So just look in my channel on how to fix this every morning. Like, we take 30 minutes, you invest, you do a morning routine, and you can do a night routine. You do a few things, and I explain exactly what you need to do to fix the mindset so that you can, go in your day and kill it. So these are the 5 mistakes, right? Again, don't be the generalist. Everyone does that. There's no money there. Be a specialist. Stop wasting time on useless stuff. All you need is to understand who you're going after, understand your niche. You have an offer that's going to help them, and you connect with them where they are, and that's it. So you don't need a website. I'm telling you right away. You need a clear game plan. So big mistake is not knowing how you're going to be generating these 20 calls a month and how you're going to be closing these 2, 3, 4, 5 clients a month. Big mistake. Then not doing enough activities, right? If you're not doing enough of the stuff that you need to do to get in touch with people, get them interested, bring the right people on the phone, nothing's going to happen. So you're going to have to ramp up your activity level. Mistake number 5, shitty mindset. And you allow yourself to stay in a shitty mindset. Even myself, like, it's like if you stop going to the gym, eventually you start feeling like a blob. If you stop working on your mindset, eventually you start feeling like stressed, anxious a little bit, right? So you need to constantly stay on that, right? Now, with this said, you can do 2 things. Either you take what I just gave you and you try to figure things out, or if you need help to get to 10K, if you're like man, like I'm at a point where I really want to get there and I would love to, just to have insights on how to get there, or even I would love to have like a system that was going to help me. Here's what I propose. I still do some calls. I call them strategy calls, where we take 30 minutes and I just ask you, like, I diagnose your business. I'm like, okay, like, let's see what's really going on. So if you would like for me to diagnose your business, let's book a call. We'll take 30 minutes. I'll ask you a bunch of questions. I'll see where you are. I'll see where you're trying to go, what's holding you back, right? And if I feel like, and at that point, like, I'll tell you, like, okay, the problem is this, this, and that. You're making this mistake. This is where you should be going. And at this point, if we feel like we could be a good fit to work together, then I can tell you about the consulting bootcamp, like how it can help you, what kind of results you could get and everything. But to start, let's just do a quick chat. Let's have that call. The link is below, and I'll be more than happy to just tell you exactly how it is. And I'm not going to sugarcoat it. I'm not there to be your friend. I'm there to help you get to 10K. So if you want to take me up on that offer, link is below. If not, totally respect that. Keep crushing it, and don't make these 5 deadly mistakes. All right? Enjoy your day.